Because
Stop treating me like fucking Kim Jong-un.
Jong-un.
People are gonna think like I'm, mistreating you guys off camera.
Sorry, Aki. Sorry for talking so long.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to Racing VTuber Rundown. More words. It's already scuffed and we're only on episode 2. It's okay. It's your weekly Racing VTuber news, events, and more coverage podcast. I'm joined by 3 drivers from Project Mirai. Wow, I'm getting all sorts of mixed up this morning. From Mirai United. It's a full studio pretty much. If y'all want to introduce yourselves.
Wait, should I start or another one?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm Akito Azusagawa, also known as Akito. I'm a racing VTuber who's also doing like plenty of other stuff, and I'm the founder of Mirai United VRT. See, that's Express.
Yes. I am Victor Masato, the constantly on hiatus VTuber here and musician, also part of the basically founding team of Mirai. Hello.
I'm Jordan Brunch. I'm also a driver for Project Mirai United VRT 2.5. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm the first driver in the team's history to get a drivers championship. I am last season V-Track Silver Class champion.
Damn.
Hey.
Yay.
Yeah. Man, we were joking off the recording about mispronunciations, and then here I am just scuffing up the entire intro. So it all's fair at this point, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have like any kind of scripts or stuff like that, at least for the intro?
No, not really. I need to. Only 2 episodes of the podcast. This is only going to be episode 2, so like it's still in that early scuff era. It's all good.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. It's fair. I find it so funny that like you started saying like Project Mirai as if it's like it reminds me so much of the AO Project 1 racing team in WEC.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Funny.
I had Colorful Stage up, and I was thinking of like Project Sekai, and I'm like, nope, that's not it. Wrong thing.
Really?
Project Mirai
on a different register.
Yes.
Project Mirai sounds like it was made by Ian Bell, The
By
Ian
who?
Bell version. Ian Bell, the guy who made GT Legends, Project Cars, Need for Speed Shift, all of them.
Project Mirai.
Because the joke is like every time he makes like a new racing game, it's like something like Project Cars, or it's like something Project.
Imagine if
That's the joke.
Imagine if he made iRacing Project iRacing.
Project
God.
I-Renting.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yes. Also, for legal reasons, no, we are not affiliated to V4 Mirai.
Yeah,
I have no clue
apparently
who
like
that is.
there's another company that has the same name as us and like plenty of other stuff, to be honest. But yeah.
They're not the racing team. Y'all are the racing team.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are the VTuber racing team. So that's completely different. Not to be mistaken with the Toyota Mirai, which is I'm not gonna delve into that.
We are
Yes.
not a hydrogen powered Japanese automobile. We are an international VTuber racing team.
Let's go. There we go.
Speaking of racing, y'all were busy this last week. Y'all had the 24 hours going through France as we were trying to make it legally distinct.
Yeah, which is totally the 24 hours of I won't finish that sentence.
The 24 hours of Aki's back garden.
Yeah, exactly. It's my back garden. Oh god. But yeah, it happened like last weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was literally during the recording of last week's episode. And Jordan, I have that little bit of beef with you because I said in the recording that you were streaming the POV, and as soon as I end the recording, you were done streaming. I was like, well, Jordan just made me a liar.
Whoops.
Hey, in all fairness, right? I had finished. I had just finished. I think my stint or something. I was just annoyed with myself after my performance in the car. So that's why I ended stream. Then Frisky Frankie, another driver for Mirai, hopped in the VC and was streaming for a good 6 hours or something.
Yeah, it was about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Fun enough talking about Frisky Frankie. He just DM'd me right there. I mentioned him.
What up?
What is that
Can I
timing?
slide in? Yeah, no.
No, I was
Nah,
gonna.
dude,
I was gonna ask because I've never done anything that's like 24 hours long. I think the longest endurance race I've done was 3 hours. So like, what preparations do y'all do for those big endurance events? Like, is it do y'all each have individual practice rituals that y'all do, or is it just like y'all get together and make a setup, or
preparations. What is that?
Yeah.
No, like
Not-
yeah, it depends on the team and like the other guys. But honestly, I think this race has been the most half-assed event we've ever partook in. Like in terms of organization, it was so funny because we planned like a lot of stuff. We were planning to get 2 cars. Like some people were ready to enter. Like there was a lot of people, so we pretty much had like 2 cars ready. And then some people got busy, and then we had some of them had to drop out. And in the end, we just had only like 1 car with like 4 people, and it kind of like changed the whole the whole schedule. So like not even what 8 or 9 hours before the race start, we're still like, yeah, so who's gonna drive there? Like, can we remake a schedule and stuff like that? It was chaos. I think Victor can agree on that.
Yeah. I slept a total of 5 hours because I had to do the start, and I didn't know 5 hours before the start if we actually do it or not. So yeah, it was chaotic. But also on terms of preparation, otherwise, I think this was my least prepared race. With like my first laps I did on Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then having to do over 120 laps in race. Yeah, but it worked, I guess.
Yeah, it's just that at one point, like, we're just so used to like just racing for us. It's like we don't even need like that much of preparation. Just do some laps with like the setup that we share, just share our thoughts. But usually it's just quite alright because usually like yeah, everyone just are comfortable enough with the setup. We're not messing too much with it because it's made by professionals who are like way more experienced in that field than us.
True.
So yeah, usually we just like maybe do a couple of really small changes in the setup, and then we just practice. We practice lots if like there is a need to, but honestly for this race it's like Le Mans. We've already done a few races there. Victor, I think with Kaneko and Mirai together, you've done it like 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah, and even before I did it already.
Yeah,
like 3
even
times,
before
so,
that, yeah.
I feel like at
So-
some point with some racetracks, you just get so used to it that you basically just refresh like the memory of the track, and then you're like, okay, I'm good to go again. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like jump in the car, say what's your feeling about the setup in the car. But it's mostly just practicing if we ever need to. I don't think I've practiced much as well. Like I did practice a little bit more for this one. I've done like 1 or 2 stints just to know how the car behaves when the car is like full of fuel, and then when it's like at the end of the stint. But yeah, apart from that, it's just like fuck it, we ball.
is there anything
I think perhaps I probably did the least amount of laps because my pedals, fun enough, broke on the Sunday just after the VTMX race.
No, seriously?
So currently, I have Frostmaster TCM pedals. Hashtag not sponsored. So basically, my throttle pedal at the moment is my old clutch spring because the spring broke inside the throttle pedal. So it broke in 3 places. So I had to swap the clutch spring to the throttle. And my current clutch is now from my old set of G920 pedals. So yes, I may have the most scuffed pedal setup here at the moment. So I've just, and it's not really helpful, but I don't race prototypes, really. So for me, it's more of a big adjustment than probably the other 2. I knew the track, but I didn't know the car per se.
True. For you, it was the second race I think ever in a prototype.
Yes, because we don't talk about the Sebring one, no matter how many times people bring it up.
Was that the one with the fried chicken, or was that a different race?
No. Because we've done. There was a thing called the Majors 24, which I don't know. Is it the Majors? I don't know what their organizing body is called, but they run a 24 hours of Le Mans as well. So that time we did run 2 cars. I was in the LMP2, the War Class prototype, which I'm a lot more familiar with. So being well, I did ask, can I be put in the higher class car for a change? And well, I think I did okay, but I didn't do as well as people keep thinking I did. I think I held my own, I would say.
Well, no, I think you still did like a pretty good job, to be honest.
Yes.
And there's an example of what I was just saying.
It needs all four of us to actually reach that P3, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't
honestly,
be
it was
that
good.
bad.
Especially since I'm the one who fucking slammed the car against the wall.
I was wondering about that
in.
because I came into the live stream. It was like y'all were already, I think, like 6 laps down. I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
When I took over the car from you, because you did a half stint, I took over the car from you, and that first half stint was fine. But when it was my first actual stint, I crashed the car within like the first 2 laps because I was adjusting the cushion on my Simrig. And well, all I'm going to say is I think Mentrix is going to be using that for the next racing VTuber clips. Is because I looked at my Twitch clips after, and he was in the chat at said time and did clip said crash.
Of course he was.
So
he's everywhere.
Mentrix, if you're listening, I know what you're planning.
It's probably gonna be out by the time the podcast is gonna be out.
For all we know,
Maybe.
this podcast could come out an hour after we've finished recording, you know?
I wish.
It could be.
Can you imagine the turnaround if I could do it in an hour?
Yeah.
I don't know. How long does it take to make a podcast? I'm curious.
Last week's it was I was being interrupted nonstop, but I want to say it was about 5 hours, like 4 hours, because there's a whole hour of going through the entire audio, cleaning it up, and then it's getting it into Premiere and adding a bunch of other things. So about 4 or 5 hours.
That's still a good time, honestly.
That's even quicker than I thought. I thought it'd be like a day or something at least.
It could be. It could be, depending on things.
I think I was listening to the first episode while I was laying in bed while the others were driving. So I knew it was some time. I didn't know how long time.
So you mentioned that you're not familiar a lot with the prototypes. What makes the team choose to run a certain car for one event versus a different event? So, like, I know like the GT only events, you know, there's not really much of a choice on that one. But like, what makes you choose to go for the GTP versus the LMP2 for something like the not 24 hours through France?
Not 24 hours free. Right?
It's so funny when everyone refers to it as that. But yeah, to jump back on your question, like it depends. Like usually it's a mix of like people that are comfortable with the handling of the car. Obviously, a GTP is like very different from an LP2, which itself is very different from a GT3, etc. And we just choose. First of all, like what we're comfortable in, mostly. And secondly, of course, like there might be a little bit of history or maybe an advantage about choosing a car. Like for us, the GTP, like it's the highest class of the 24 hours of not Le Mans. So I don't know. For me, it's always like very exciting to race the higher category because you're the one who needs to get around the slower classes. It's very, very interesting. It's super fast. Everything goes by so fast. It's super, like exciting and fun to drive. Very challenging as well because, well, if you want to learn how to drive a GTP, it's definitely quite different from a GT3. But it's the one that I like the most. A lot of people like it as well in my team. We also love like how it looks, how it sounds. So that could also like influence us on the choice of any car for a race.
Exactly. and I love to bully people. Cool little
Out of context, that sounds horrible.
Yes, I know.
Oh my god.
It's like Aki said, it's kind of like a group decision kind of thing. So
Yeah,
like if one car, say for example for Spa, everyone owned like a certain car, but say for example we'll all put like our suggested picks in. Say for example, well, Spa was only a GT3 only race. I know for example I wanted to drive the Corvette, but I know I wanted other people in the team to want to drive the Corvette. Some people want to drive the Mercedes, people want to drive the BMW or the Ferrari, or etc., etc. But when we basically we take all the suggestions, we whittle them down into like 2 picks. Then we just see what's more fitting. If more people own one car, we'll use that. Or if one car is a lot better than the other, we'll choose that.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's also the reason of if we have the car or not. Because cars are expensive, sometimes.
Yeah, very true. It's like I was gonna say that Jordan is leaking our internal beef because in terms of GT3, like when it's about GTP, like there's just one choice, right? Everyone has the caddy here, so there's not much of a question to be asked. But when it comes to GT3s in iRacing, at least, it's war. Like some people, at first we started with the AMG, the Mercedes AMG GT3. It was cool, but then like some people like started to really hate it because it feels quite boat E kind of thing. Really feels really heavy. So then some people prefer the M4, but then we ran the 296 at Daytona, so also like some people have that. And then there's some people are like, yeah, okay, I won't run anything unless we drive the McLaren, which is gonna be coming in about a few months, I don't know.
Few weeks.
So
a few weeks.
In a few weeks, a few months, I don't fucking know. But yeah, shit like this happen. It's just as Jordan said, it's just a team decision, and we try to make compromises.
Any plans on a Mustang race at some point, or?
Oh, please, no. I will speak because you can't speak after that race.
Go for it.
We have done a race in the Mustang. We did the 3 hours of Fuji, or we attempted to. But the problem is, it was a 3-people team, so it was me, Akito, and Cobb, who's another driver in Mirai. I'm not even joking. I was the last person in the car. There was, remember, I think it was an hour left of the race. I was left on 28 inks out of 30 before disqualification. I couldn't even do 2 laps before I get disqualified because I had basically no margin of error.
To be fair, it was Fuji, okay?
No, it's not the track or the car. It's just I had like the car snapped on me for out of no reason. I was properly grandpa driving the car, and it's just the car snaps in like one high-speed corner, and race already over, done.
Was there a crowd in the corner? Was there a crowd in the corner? The Mustangs are notorious for that.
It's not even that. It's just the rear end decided to snap for no reason. I would say it's the Mustang in general for me. It's a cool car. I was excited when it was coming to iRacing, but I just can't gel with it like I can gel with a Corvette when it came out at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the 180R, 140R, 100R.
180R. I think you mean
no, it's 100R. Yeah, that's Suzuka. Sorry, but just the car doesn't really like these kind of like high speed, high downforce corners. I don't know. For me, like it felt pretty weird around that area of the track. So, but I don't know. Like I could definitely like run it again for like a solo event, but for a team event, I don't know, because like there's not a lot of people who has it.
I would. There is races I would like to do with a team, but sadly they're not official. But if I ever see events at certain tracks, I'm gonna try and bring them up. I'd love to see. I think I'm not sure if iRacing has Algarve, but I'd like to do like is it Algarve 9 hours they have in WAC?
Algarve should be part of iRacing.
Portimao, Algarve.
Yes, Portimao should be there.
There's some tracks I'd love to do endurance races at. Preferably not in the Mustang.
Well, you're probably gonna find it in the fake 24 hours like championship, maybe. I'm not sure. or you're on some grid, that works too.
All right. So I see the things that go on in the stream, but like what happens off the stream during your stints? Like what goes through your minds when you're first getting into the car for your stint, or you're getting ready to get off the grid for the first time for the race? What's like each of your mentalities when you step into the car for the first time in the race?
Well, I'll be talking for a lot. Maybe Victor or Jordan would answer that first.
I think it's. I'll let Victor say first because he's gonna have a laugh at what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, wow. Because I did the start of the last race. Yes. First of all, personally, I hate doing starts of races usually because it's so packed and everything could happen at the same moment. But really, it's like some kind of nervous. A little bit, maybe, because you have no clue what's about to happen in front of you, behind you. Will everyone around you actually behave, or will we have first lap heroes? But at the same time, it's also a little bit like I know what I've done in the past. I know how I have to drive, so it's kind of like you get into almost a meditative mental state a little bit before the start, and then green flag drops and just go, I guess. Switch off the brain and drive.
Jordan, you going or do I go?
I'm
you
expecting
go.
Jordan to go next. I'm like, hold on.
No.
Yes.
I'll let our glorious leader lead this one.
Stop treating me like fucking Kim Jong-un. People are gonna think like I'm, mistreating you guys off camera.
Sorry, Aki. Sorry for talking so long.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Oh, you should be lucky at what I was gonna say. I was thinking of saying something else, but nah, I bit my tongue. I was gonna say age before beauty, but So please, Aki, tell us your answer to the question.
To be honest, it's kind of like the same thing with Victor. Like, you're just getting in the car. You make sure that the pit limiter is on so that you don't get a penalty, and then you just kind of get into that. Yeah, as he said, like a meditative state. Like you don't even think about anything. You personally, I kind of forget about the stream altogether. I just try and remember all of the like quote unquote danger zones that we have on the track, which area are the most dangerous, whether it's just because of the handling of the car or just because there's a lot of traffic or stuff like that. And then once the jacks drop, we just go and just stop thinking altogether. Everything at that point is just purely reflex. Like you don't really think too much when you're doing these kind of races, especially after 30 minutes or an hour of driving. Everything you just drive by yourself. Like nothing much really is happening, but you're still shifting your focus mostly on the traffic, which is the most important thing in endurance racing.
I may also add that I might have a bit of a weird thingy that I do while driving. I always have music on, like constantly.
Oh,
Just to keep my brain sane, especially when I have to do like 3 or 4 hours in one go. So yeah.
What kind of music do you listen to?
It depends on the mood. That can be from Eurobeat over to classical. That can be drum and bass.
I'm just imagining you going down the Mozart straight, listening to like fucking Beethoven the Fifth Symphony.
That's actually
right to the Valkyries.
That was
Ooh,
scrumptious. What a
that
banger.
actually sounds like a nice idea.
Next year's plan: ride of the Valkyries down the Mulsanne Straight.
What the fuck is a mile per hour?
We never know. Could be.
It's in fact, I'm glad you brought up music because part of my preparations is I also listen to music. But what I've noticed since my last 24-hour race before Le Mans is I've been listening to music that I grew up listening to. So, funny enough, I was listening to 90s pop music, and this time I was listening to 2000s. So I will say it's quite surreal when you're going through fucking Porsche curves or something when there's like a car behind you and there's like two tour class cars ahead of you, and you're listening to like "Hot in Here" by Nelly of all things.
Oh, God.
It's quite surreal. But for me, I think when it comes to endurance racing, I feel like I have to prove something. So I normally try. I obviously try my best, but I try to match the others. But it's a bit harder for me this time because I'm not used to the car. I'm more used to the track when I'm used to the car. Plus the problem with the pedals earlier in the week. So I still think I did okay despite the circumstances I was under.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
that
you
was
were on a
all right.
tear because I tuned in. Y'all were like 10th or 11th in class, and I think by the end of your stream, Jordan, you had gotten them up to I think like 8th or 9th.
Ninth, yeah. I still don't know how I did that though. I don't know if that was just our cars disconnected or in the pits or genuine pace. I like to say genuine pace because it makes me sound better, but I don't know.
You just drove well. Full stop.
I did not drive well.
You did.
Despite how many people say, "Oh, you drove well, you did great." No, I didn't. It's you'll probably get where I'm coming from when you say others will think you did well, but you're your own biggest critic of sorts. So you think you've done horrible, while others think you've done decent or good. So that's the kind of mindset I've been in since then. I just won my endurance race. I was started before the stream.
Nice. Actually, on like the topic of playing music in the car, or you know, in the stream we see like a bunch of different topics speaking. Do y'all like? I know some drivers will mute the Discord call if they're in the car. I know Jordan did that during the last few stints. Do y'all think that conversation helps keep y'all kind of sane throughout the event, or do you prefer like let me just listen to my music and just keep my mind on the road for a bit?
It
no,
sometimes
totally.
helps.
Yeah, for me the chatter helps. I can't like drive alone with pure silence. I hate it.
Yep.
I can do it. As what I've noticed recently is the older I get, the more I like peace and quiet. So I've been somehow just when I'm quiet and just by myself, I can I'm better. Well, my work ethic is better. So that's how I had to mute the VC a few times while I was driving.
All right,
The only time I mute the stream is like during quali. Just so I can actually concentrate on the lines. But otherwise, nah. I personally even prefer it if there's like someone talking to me. Like, you know, 'cause it
Keeps us
gets
sane.
yeah.
The inner demons may attack during those times.
What if I just full speed it down through the Porsche curves?
I have had intrusive thoughts while driving. I will say that there's been times even at Le Mans where I've nearly because I'm more used to the old layout without the chicanes on the big the Mulsanne straight. There's been times where I've nearly full sent the car into a chicane, forgetting. Oh wait a minute, there's chicanes.
I've done that. I've done that in GT7.
Yeah, it's just it's having people there. It helps at times. Sometimes it can be a hindrance. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it helps.
All right, my question: what do you think was the biggest meme for the team in the race this past week? Because I know we had the majors was Jordan with the KFC, the fried chicken.
KFC. Everyone keeps saying it's KFC. I didn't have KFC. I made the chicken myself. Everybody's always saying KFC because of the famous KFC next to the racetrack. But Aki took
you're removing credit from Jordan. The beam.
Was there any memes?
Were there even any beams during that race? I think it was a bit calmer, to be honest, than our last majors attempt.
Last majors attempt.
Yeah.
I think you mean last
race. Well,
you know what? I can say though, I've successfully in the last year I've done 3 Le Mans 24s and I've driven every category of car. Well, technically yes, but technically no, because I've done GTE, I've done LMP2, and now I've done GTP. Swap. If we're going off by the time that I did my first Le Mans 24, I've driven every category of car, which is a good way to look at things.
You know what to do now. Yeah, you just take the Porsche or
I have to do
whatever GT3 and Let's go.
I'd love to do Porsche because I am a big
Ew.
Porsche fan. No, I would love to do Porsche for the simple reasons I'm a Porsche fan. Winning Le Mans in a Porsche is that magical feeling, you know? It's like winning at Monza in F1 for a Ferrari, you know? It's something that a lot of people would love to do, but only a few people can do it, you know?
True.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Well, so, to be fair, if I wanted to really do a Le Mans, I'd love to do like a classic Le Mans, of like LMP ones. It's probably
Yes.
that's something I'd love to do. I'm sort of jealous that the other two have done and I haven't done.
True. We did
Wait.
the old LMP ones. I also did the old LMP2, like once back then when it still was active in iRacing. That was a beast and a half.
I know
That's pretty cool.
under the Kaneko Racing guys, Victor and Aki both did was the R18? Is that the one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
R18, yeah.
R18
LMP1.
LMP1 for the last time it was the LMP1 at Le Mans in iRacing. I remember, fun enough, when they were racing on an actual racetrack for the last like good bit of the race.
Good old memories.
Is that your AC, Victor?
What? Yeah.
It is suddenly kicked on. We can hear that.
Really?
Suddenly, like,
I mean, it was constantly at the same volume. I didn't change anything.
It's just a lot harder now, though, for some reason.
yeah, now it's gone for some
Okay.
reason.
I was thinking it was like a jet taking off outside.
The Aki war is real. He's a part-time pilot, part-time racing driver.
Open the door. I'm right beside you.
What plane are we flying on, Aki?
I don't know, but we could pull an AlphaTauri and pull up in a Honda jet. That thing looks cool.
Tractor.
Huh?
I thought we were gonna say a tractor.
No. I've got we gotta go hard, you know. So we gotta go private jet. Honda jet, the Gulfstream, you know, G500. Damn, we bowl.
It's
What's
funny
your
that it's the difference in other likes we have outside of racing. Like Aki likes planes, Victor makes music. I'm mostly just a racing person, to be fair.
You're our number one no-kill fan.
Yes.
That's a great title.
Proud.
That's a great title.
The Scottish Minister of Defence is what I've also been nicknamed.
Is there like a special drink that y'all get before or after a big
Vodka.
endurance race?
During-
Wait, what?
I'm not even joking when I say this. I shouldn't admit to this, but I do drink and drive while doing endurance races. I don't even. This is like, I know it sounds sad. I don't even remember the last time I did a endurance race sober.
Like, I was secretly asking myself, like, when are we getting to the point in the podcast where Jordan is going to talk about vodka or any alcoholic drink? Well, turns out it ended up after what? So 30 minutes?
Yeah, just about.
I mean, there's a reason that people have nicknamed me an alcoholic. All I'm saying is,
You're confirming the allegations, mate.
Mhm.
I mean, hate all you want, but when I drink and drive, I do better. So don't even try and hit me with those.
Oh,
You know?
Remember that
Just
Mirai
vodka.
United VRT condones drunk driving. You shouldn't
It
drink and drive.
condones.
Thank you.
We don't condone.
What?
You
Did I say do?
You just
not
only on
condone.
virtual racetracks.
We do not condone. Do not drink and drive.
I'm a trained professional drunk driver, apparently.
Uh-huh.
Whoops.
All of the VTubers here are professional virtual race car drivers. Do not attempt this at home.
I feels like when it was racing as back in the day where they have like a public PSA. I think it was like Need for Speed, like underground touring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you see in this game is a video game. You shall not. We do not condone the actions done in this video game.
When you're behind the wheel of your car, please drive responsibly and always wear your seatbelt.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh man, that took me back to like Need for Speed, Most Wanted, and Carbon, even because they still had it all the way up through Carbon.
True. That's a throwback and a half.
I wonder who out of all of us has been to racing the longest, like had an interest in racing the longest.
No, definitely not me.
I would say possibly me.
When
My
did you?
My
get
first racing game I had was like the original F1 Formula One game on PS1, 1995.
See, I can't really compete with that as I'm not that old.
Yes, exactly.
See,
Too much
there's
of a
no,
zoomer.
there's no way I can, compare to that. But I remember my first few racing games, which are a little bit more modern than that. But well, fun enough, I'm playing it right now as we're talking right now. Gran Turismo 4, GT3, 4, Forza Motorsport 2, Project Gotham Racing 4. My first few racing games.
I'm gonna sound like such a
Mhm.
nerd because mine was other than Mario Kart. If we're not counting Mario Kart 64, I had to wait till I got a PS2, and it was NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup.
That's a good game. I've
Oh,
played that before.
nice.
Wow.
Aki's like F1 2019. No,
Uh,
I'm kidding, mate. I'm
like
kidding.
I don't know, are we talking about generic like arcade racing titles or
We're talking just wrestling, as mate.
just racing? Well, the oldest one I've played is like TDU2.
Oh, you
Uh,
sweet, sweet child.
Yeah, I know, but like I wasn't even that much into racing until very recently, like 2019. So
My joke was actually unironically on point.
True.
almost exactly. But it wasn't F1 2019 that I actually first played. It was 2018. So checkmate. Checkmate.
Checkmate. Oh, are we going like that? Okay.
I think in terms of actually being a fan of racing, as far as I can remember, I remember being a fan back when I was like 3 or 4, and I was the only one in my family that was a Jeff Gordon fan. Everyone else was like a Dale Earnhardt fan. I'm the only Jeff Gordon Rainbow Warrior fan.
I fun enough have saw him in person. I saw him in Daytona this year. I'm just sad I didn't get his autograph. I'm still molding.
No.
I saw a good few legends there in person. I saw Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, fucking, the king himself.
You did
Just
no
to
way.
name 3. I've saw 2 7-time NASCAR Cup champions, the 2 living 7-time Cup champions together. I have a picture of both of them standing next to each other. Then I also saw, I didn't, like, Dale Earnhardt Sr. died before I was born, but I saw one of his cars and Earnhardt Jr. car together as well.
No, you're just missing Kyle Petty, to be honest.
I did see Kyle Petty as well. He was there.
Ah,
I know. I'm not sure how much he's been keeping up with NASCAR this year in the Cup Series, but the Petties have been bringing a statue, like a cowboy hat statue kind of thing. I did get to see it at Daytona.
nice.
Speaking of being at actual races, what's like your favorite race that you've been to in person, or if you haven't been to one, what race would you want to go see?
I think we all have different kind of answers, don't we?
Maybe, I don't know. If you're answering Knock Hill, it's not for me.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I've been to a Spanish F1 Grand Prix about 10 years back, and it was fun, but it was also very, very warm. And I had like a sunburn for like 2 weeks after, but it was nice. But for a race that I would go and watch personally, I guess maybe a Le Mans or something like that, or a Daytona 24 or 500.
I think Aki's muted.
Yes.
What?
What race do you want to go and see, Matt? What is on the top of the bucket list?
What race do I want to see?
The most, yes. IRL.
Daytona 24. Yeah, IMSA. I like the Rolex. Hell yeah.
I have a few
With the caddies.
answers.
Hell yeah.
I have saw the 500 in person. It's a very different atmosphere to watching a F1 race. Because last year I saw the British Grand Prix in person for the first time. So it's a very different atmosphere kind of thing. I've saw the British touring cars not kill that many times. I don't think I have enough fingers on my hands. It's what I'd like to see. I've never been to endurance race before in person, so Le Mans would be cool. Daytona preferably, because I just love Daytona. I'll say I'm more of a different kind of pick. I'd love to see the Indy 500 because no one here said the Indy 500. Surprisingly, and that'd be cool to go and see. Because I nearly went this year, in fact, instead of the 500.
Oh, really?
Nearly. In fact, I was originally planning on going to the Rolex 24 next year, but sadly, complications said no. But maybe then the year after that, I can go and see my favorite endurance race of the year.
Actually,
I know that's. I know a few people in your audience may be quite upset when I said I prefer the Rolex 24 over the Le Mans 24, but I'm more biased towards Daytona though.
Also, it is easier to follow along because it's less distance to cover.
Well, I was going to say it's because my first ever endurance race. Funny, you, Aki, and if Reska was here, the whole team for my first ever endurance race would be in this VC.
To be fair, my first ever 24-hour race was at Daytona as well. True. In a Ferrari back then.
Twinsies. I'm guessing GTE?
No, it was IMSA, so GT3. Still.
Ooh. What year? I'm curious.
It's just 6-7 years ago, like at the more or less at the beginning of my racing time.
So the 488, the non.
Yes.
Aha! I know
The
my
old boy.
Ferraris. What can I say? How about
Well, that's
Aki?
fun.
What was his first endurance race? I'm curious.
Me?
Yes.
First endurance race? It depends, like, what counts as an endurance race? Because, like, the first really long one that I've done is, I think, it's this one. 6 hours of Le Mans on iRacing. That was the first one. Done it with Reska and Cobb. That was back in 2022. LMP2 Connector Racing. Fun times.
So that was the preparation for the actual 24 that you did?
No, it was a different one because like it was in the LMP2 and I think I was still like in B class at that time. So we ended up doing like that like really long 6-hour race. But I only had the LMP one later for the 24 hours.
See, I'm still a quote-unquote baby in the endurance racing sphere. I always started doing endurance racing at the start of last year with the Rolex 24 and the GTP. Right at the top class at I'd say the premier race of IMSA.
we really like didn't make it easy for you.
I mean, considering I've never even had driven a prototype even before that race. Well, if we're not including practice for that race, I think I actually did pretty well. Okay, sure, I've crashed the car twice. It doesn't really help when I was at Daytona. My seats for the 500s were overlooking exactly where I crashed the car.
No, just
I'm not
looking
even
at the
joking.
corner like that. Yep, that's where I crashed in the virtual version of this track.
It's funny because I even point out to my dad because my dad he plays games, bless his heart. He's down the stairs right now. He's quite ill. I think he's got a cold or something. But he sometimes plays racing games. I used to play him when I was younger with him. And it's funny enough, I pointed him saying, "Hey, that's where I crashed a car in a race game." He said, "Really?" And I tried to explain like endurance racing and sim racing, and I think he sort of got it, but he sort of understands it, but doesn't at the same time. He tries.
Yeah, that's good.
He's more of a bike person, though.
Right. Yeah, like I think I've done the same at Le Mans. Like not this year, last year. Was walking on the circuit because on Friday the circuit opens so that anyone can walk around the circuit. People can go and take a bike, to ride their bike on the whole circuit and everything. B Reska and Cobb decided to just wait. No, I didn't go there with Reska and Cobb. Actually, it was with the other friends. And I went to the Corvette curve, which is where I accidentally sent the car into the wall. I was like, yeah, look, guys, I crashed here. But yeah, it feels so weird to see the place in person. But it's pretty cool.
You should mention Corvette curves. Remember last year, my first months. I think it was the third lap into my stint.
Yeah.
I got GTP'd into Corvette curves while driving a Corvette. Or was it Ford curve? I think it was Corvette curve.
No, it's Corvette.
It was
It's the
very
Corvette curve.
ironic that I
Yeah.
had a crash using like the same like car that the corner is named after.
Your car wanted to go home, you know?
I mean, let's say I think I had the fright of my life when I saw just the ever so slight bump and just absolute sent into the wall. So my first stint at Le Mans was pretty much me sitting in the pits.
Actually, on a related note, what was y'all's like most memorable wrecks with being with Mirai?
Oh, this
Oh,
is
God. Oh god.
I don't think, is Victor ever had a crash while driving for Mirai?
Honestly,
don't think he
that's my first question that I had as well. Like,
Me and Aki have had a few crashes. I don't think Victor's ever had one.
I mean, I only have in like the oval league, but that's a bit of a different story, I guess. There.
I mean, it's technically still for Mirai. I think that counts, wouldn't it?
I think it does.
Yeah. Oh, was it 3 weeks ago now? Kind of old tires sliding up slightly into someone, trying to avoid him. Then when he stands horizontal to the track, I go low and someone just full on smashes into me, even though it's yellow. So yeah, car was done. I almost flew over the track in that moment. That was an interesting one. I guess that's the crash, the one crash that I've had.
Yeah. I don't know. Memorable crash? Trying to find one because like
Feels like such
Most
a
of them-
touchy subject, don't you think?
nah, I mean
You remember your
personally,
most
I don't give a
memorable
shit.
crash?
Personally, I don't give a damn, but like usually I just don't I do remember them, but they're not like memorable. But the only one that I like truly kind of like remember, it wasn't even in Mirai, it was in Kaneko with the LMP one. Like as I said, the
Oh, I know which one
Yeah.
this is.
no, it's the one I've been talking about, the Corvette one. The
I-
Corvette
isn't-
curves.
Isn't that the one
LMP
where
one. I closed the door too early on a GTE car and he spun me and I ended up in the wall, but before that I was like flying. He sent me really flying over the sandbox, you know, the gravel trap.
I'm pretty sure there's a clip of this.
Oh, probably.
No, I remember watching this.
this.
I thought, holy hell, most memorable crash from there. Oh, Jesus Christ, where do I start? I've had a few crashes. I swear, probably the cleanest season that I've had of V-Track was the last season. For the quote-unquote factory Mirai team. I didn't actually have any crashes there, funnily enough. Well, at least to my recollection. Most memorable crashes... Maybe the one that just happened at Le Mans. Letting go of the wheel for a whole second to adjust something when the car has, well, got 3 wheels. One's hang on for dear life while the others are just fine. I'm trying to think of other crashes I've had from Mirai. I mean, I've probably had a lot smaller incidences, but that's probably the biggest one. But I don't really remember any other big accidents, at least of recent, for me, personally.
All
You're
right.
just two clean drivers, you know.
Try to keep
Hey,
it
you
clean.
can
The other
you can speak
drivers.
for yourself. No, I just... The difference is you don't have crashes. I've had that many, I don't remember them.
What are some of the like? What's like a funny story that you know other people that see like the streams and stuff may not know about that happened in Mirai? Like, what are like some of the funniest moments you've had with the team?
A question. Like I remember the time when that was still in Kaneko, in Mirai, right? When you, Jordan,
Oh no. This isn't
like
good when he says with you. And he says, "My name."
you
I'm
specifically.
scared.
No, like I remember it was like in Belgium for like one of the V-Trek events,
Oh no.
and you really discovered that you intoxicated were doing better than you sober.
Oh God.
It was a scientific experiment.
It's
No paid
Zolder.
off. Zolder.
Yeah, it was at Zolder.
Oh yes, I
For
remember. It was
V-Trek. There
it was
we
the
go.
first race of IBGTC that was in the rain. I didn't even.
He was flabbergasted. He was like, "Hey, I'm actually doing better."
I don't even know how I managed it. I somewhere did.
That's pretty funny. Like, there's just plenty of stuff like that, especially like on the endurance races, like at night, like everyone is just exhausted at that point. And usually that's when all of like the funniest talks can happen. Like we've got it last time with Frankie and wait, who was it again? Like
What is the topic?
like there was Frankie, Vladdy, Reska, I think too. You guys too, maybe. You know, at the Spa 24.
No, Reska wasn't there. But
Okay.
Is this the one where I got the clip and baited Frank into saying something?
Yes.
Oh, how
Like,
I got
they had a
Frank
full-on
into
like
explain-
debate about what
No, the mattress
was the best, and then
the
it just
mattress is
Oh
funny.
no, the mattress
went to
story.
shit. Yeah.
There is the one Frankie explaining us. Got him to explain what I don't know how if I can say the thing in the podcast, but
You can say it. You can say it.
I got him to explain to me what edging was.
I remember that clip.
I got a clip, and everyone saw it and think it's fucking hilarious. It's some people think that I put on the act saying, "Oh, I don't know how," like I don't know these things, but in the reality, I actually don't know half of these things what they say. I'm more, how should I put it? I'm more out of the loop than others. So when I ask him what does edging mean, that's a genuine reaction from me, and it's just apparently it was funny as well, you know.
Yeah, it was very funny. Like, it was just the mix of like such impromptu, like random subject that you're talking like at what 2 a.m. in the night, while another guy is like purely like trying to survive. driving.
It's funny. The clips from Bonnie's POV, and he went muted. All you can hear from him is fucking laughing while he's trying to drive.
I think that's truly the magic of like endurance racing. That's like one of the reasons of why I love endurance racing so much. It's just that when you're paired with like a good group of friends who are driving as well, or just hanging out in VC with you, it's probably the funniest thing you can ever do while sim racing.
Victor, do you have any different stories that you can think of off the top of your head, or is it kind of the same?
Well, it would be kind of the same. Maybe also like the old layouts of Cop streams when he wasn't driving, like the casting couch and everything.
Oh, Cobb.
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
My favorite thing I've ever heard are like just like outside of the team, but while driving for the team, is at Daytona, the first race. I knew for a fact I was in a dark place because I crashed the car badly, and you hear like some random guy in the game chat saying, "All your LMDHs are absolute wankers." And you just hear Victor and actually just start pissing themselves with laughter. It's funny. To me, that clip's iconic. I even added it to the Mirai server because it's like the last race we all did under Kaneko Racing before Mirai, so I thought it was quite iconic and funny.
Yeah, you can have some pretty funny things on the radio as well during those races. It's pretty fun.
That's also what usually happens during like long solo races when people suddenly, like for example on oval races like Coke 600 and stuff, and you're in caution constantly, and they start talking about how they made their salad. Like, hey, what, bro? You're in a race car. What the? What's
yeah, especially like those oval races. Like everyone is so talkative there.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Usually you'll
funny.
find like 2 or 3 people that just constantly talk to each other. Like, well, okay, to be fair, they mostly know each other from races and races and races already. So
I guess the oval is a bit more tight knit than the road racing community in that aspect. Then,
yeah, definitely, they're like a small family there.
I think the
I'd
gap
say,
is.
go on.
I was just gonna say, I think the gap for drivers that are in the oval versus the road at the higher levels is different too.
I'm surprised Aki's never, well, he hasn't said it so far, but Mirai is the reason we work as well as we do as a team is mostly as we're a friend group who just poses under as a racing team. You know, that's how we get along, and you don't hear like controversy from us because we've all known each other for plenty of time even before the team, you know.
Yeah.
That's how
it's
we
just-
can all take a joke with each other compared to like other teams you'll hear.
yeah, after all, like, anyone like can manage their own teams as they want. Like some people, they might be more focused on the competitive side. Some people might be focused on, their community. But here, I don't know. I just wanted a team where like everyone is like, super comfortable and like we're a good friends group that, where we can have fun together. That's mostly what I wanted. But of course, if we can like focus a bit more on the competitive side, then it's all good and fun. But the main part of the project is just that it's a friends group, and that's why we're so quote unquote small compared to what we could be if we were more something of a community.
He
But
said it. He said the P word. He said project.
the what?
He said it.
Hell yeah, Mirai project. No, but yeah, that's what I really wanted to do, and I'm really happy that it has worked pretty well for now on. Like most of us, we've known each other in like 2021, 2022, and we're in 2024, and it's still doing amazing. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, back in the race room days, I think was it
Yeah.
Rescutter that suddenly DM'd me like, hey, you sounded interested in a VTuber racing league here.
That's so funny. Yeah. That's
It's
like
funny,
quite a long time ago.
How I met the others is I think they knew everyone. They knew each other before they knew me. I remember seeing a clip in 2022 on Twitter of like another friend of mine who's also a VTuber showed me a clip of them all racing shopping carts on Racer. I thought, what the fuck is this? It's just something you don't see every day, and I thought that's bonkers. I want to do something like that. When I got introduced to everyone, and that's how I became part of Kaneko Wrestling.
Not gonna lie, that was my first ever win as a VTuber. The shopping cart race.
I couldn't tell you who would win it, or like I didn't know anyone. I just wanted to race fucking shopping carts against others.
Yeah.
All I remember is that I went the opposite side, like the opposite way.
Oh yeah, you were part of the group that suddenly turned around.
So it was hilarious. The chaos, like we were, I think, a good like what 10, 15 in VC.
Yeah,
That was
a large
amazing.
group actually.
Yeah, it was a really large group of people. It was super funny.
I'd say it's interesting to see how everyone from the old Kaneko Racing group has went their own ways after teams kind of disbanded. There is multiple VTuber racing teams now. Well, I wouldn't say full multiple racing VTuber teams, but people started their own teams. Like you have Psycho with Technoburst, you have DJ with Grip Runners, you have us with Mirai, and you have people like Wims who's stopped VTubing but now does something else. Like they do VR chats raving because they're now a DJ of sorts. So it's interesting to see how the old group has all went their own separate ways. So like we still talk to each other from time to time, but it's not the same. I think Kaneko Racing at the time caught lightning in a bottle, if you could say, of sorts.
Yeah, true, but like it's not. I think
Well,
like
the
our
town that
community is
people-
pretty tight knit compared to
What's it-
others.
Towards the town that people one small spot can only last for so long, sadly,
But
Yeah.
it did kickstart something nice, actually. Like with as you said, yeah, the sim racing community is still rather tight knit, so everybody kinda at least knows each other, which can be a blessing and a curse in some case, because you have beef with one person, suddenly everyone is kind of very or so. Can happen in these conditions, but yeah, you just have to check a bit how you act with people a bit more in such small communities.
Yeah, but like honestly, like I feel like Trek.eu is like the second, like the V2 version of the original community. Like there's so many VTubers there
True.
that it kind of became like the second like hanging out spot for all VTubers. It's pretty funny. But yeah, we mostly like know each other sometimes quite well. So yeah, the community I think is quite tight knit even with that.
Any future plans on more events this year for Mirai? And what have you guys got planned for us next?
That is a very good question. We have
Yeah,
no clue.
we have no clue. Like,
I have something planned, honestly.
Oh, tell us.
Yeah,
us.
with Reska, the Bethers
Oh, I
1000.
know.
Because we didn't
Oh,
do
yeah.
it last year because I forgot to practice for it. So we kind of postponed it to this year, but this year we will do it. Let's see how
He will be there.
Yes.
You have to insert the Wheel and JHK meme.
Exactly.
Put Victor's face there, saying, I will beat the Bathurst 1000 no matter what.
Plus, also, I guess this year we will try another attempt at Petit Le Mans. I assume, maybe.
I'd like to try that because I didn't do it last year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. See them all, and maybe hopefully get our revenge from last year. But
Oh yes,
We will make
With-
sure
with
our
Rocky
real
Steel
base
wheels.
is.
Yes.
We're sorry, Raska, mate. We're sorry.
Oh god.
Knowing him, he'd be laughing if he was here. The mention of it. He'd be sad, but he'd be mad. He'd laugh as well.
I think he would be if he wasn't at Daytona right now.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing right now. Something at Daytona. Streaming.
I think it's a NASCAR iRacing race. I don't know.
I
Oh yeah,
know-
the NIS. Yeah, he's doing the NIS race. What is it? The 100 laps?
I know today is a fellow Mirai member's third year anniversary as a VTuber. Frisky Frankie.
Oh yeah.
True.
I'm not sure about you, is what I'll be attending that for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years already. That's a lot. I'm also gonna celebrate my third year this year.
Same.
Holy shit.
Aren't we like each tower? Like I did one day before you or something.
I don't know. I debuted on December
14.
18th. I think it's 18th.
I
or
know
something
mine
like that, or
was
14th. I
early.
can't remember.
I know mine was before you. I know for a fact it was in December 2021, but I don't remember exactly what date.
Yeah, same for me, but I can't remember the exact date.
I swear they were like next to each other. I swear mine was like a day before you.
Yeah.
I mean, according to my Twitter, I created my account there in August 2021, so I'm also over 3 years already for some reason.
Oh god, I feel
That's-
old now.
I started.
Yeah.
I started my Twitter in October 2021, but I think I just set it up because I forgot to password my other Twitter at the time.
God, I feel old now because I jumped in. I think I made my Twitter March or April of 2020, and then I debuted May 15th, if I have the date correct, of 2020. So I feel old.
2020, damn.
I was right at the COVID start. God, I feel like the old VTuber now.
It's. I find it's quite interesting you mentioned we started VTubing over 2020 because I read something that Liv said a few days ago, and he brought up a quite interesting point that people who started during I don't know if it was Liv that brought up or I saw it somewhere. I don't know who said it. Might have been Liv, to be fair, but it was like people who started VTubing then have pretty much retired. Like the big VTubing boom of like 2020, 2021.
Oh
lot of people
gosh,
retired.
yeah. I like there's a few VTubers that were VTubers like right before like 2018, 2019, or like that had started in 2020 with me, and like one of them was a huge inspiration of mine. I'm looking left and right, and like all of them are either graduated or moved on to something else. I'm like, I feel alone out here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it kind of feels
internet
like this.
configuration. Yeah.
Like you either have like the group of very, very long standing VTubers that do it like 6, 7, 8 years, like being basically the first ones that are still around, or then you just have like the newer people, like 2, 3 years maximum. Everything in between is like completely died out for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm just looking right now and like I know it was December 2021, but I don't remember the exact date. Maybe my Twitter my last tweet apparently was July 28th, 2022, apparently. But I know I debuted before that because the caption says Danke said because it was when Sebastian Vettel has announced his retirement from F1. And when in brackets, another SR grind stream tonight. I think this is when I was still down at Road D, I think. I rode
good old
B,
times.
not B, rode D or C.
Yeah, good memories.
There's even like one of my like earliest tweets apparently was a retweet of Aki's when he was doing F1 2022. That's our old.
Whoa. That's old. That's super old. But yeah. Like, wait. What was the first game you've ever played, Jordan?
The first
Like,
game I've
when you
ever
did your-
played.
Like, no, when you debuted as a VTuber.
Probably Minecraft, to be honest with you.
What was
I don't
your
remember.
first stream about? Minecraft?
I don't remember, man. It's that long ago. I remember like my second stream, my first racing game I streamed. I think the first one was Minecraft. I took a break for like nearly half a year because I got bored and I only really did it because I really started VTubing because I have a funny story how I got into VTuber. In fact, how I learned what a VTuber was is one day I was singing VC with a friend I was mentioning earlier. And I was on a Windows 7 virtual machine on my PC, singing VC, just mucking about. And they asked, "Hey, can you go on Twitch?" And I said, "Sure, okay." And they made me watch, was it Nyanners or whatever their name is?
Yeah, Niners.
Yes.
Or something like that. I had no clue what the hell any of this was about, because I don't really know anything about the animes or anything like that. So that's how I found out what a VTuber was. And a month later, they told me what a VTube studio was. So that's how I made my first model.
Nice.
I actually still have a backup of the first stream I did as a racing game on my hard drive, fun enough. Back when I used to stream and record. I used to record them as backups.
Yeah. What about you guys? First stream, what was it about?
I don't know, was it music or was it like Rust?
Rust,
Sorry.
oh no. What
Well,
a threat.
PvE Rust, of course.
Oh,
I like to take things chill, you know. I basically, when I play Rust, I play it basically like Minecraft, you know.
Rustcraft.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, now with all the automation and stuff that this game has, you could basically see it as a Minecraft mod pack at that point. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think music was like one of the first streams as well. What else? Yeah, I think Minecraft was also up there. But yeah.
oh, that's cool.
But in terms of when I first started seeing VTubing, that must have been like... The fun fact is I watched VTubers before I knew what VTubers were basically. For example, I watched Sandrea long before I really realized that this is actually VTubing. Like back when she was only a mute in VRChat.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's a long time ago.
Wow.
5-6 years, basically at the beginning of her time when she was still around with Nex and this whole RP story back then.
Yeah, that was a
We're
long
learning
time ago.
We're learning more about Victor Masato than we thought we would.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
The first time I actually heard the term VTuber was when the whole meme was around of Iron Mouse with the Kulikitaka. That's the thing where she sings. That was the first time I've actually heard what is this VTuber? Huh? Wait, this is a streamer? And so I got kind of sucked into it.
How about you, Akime? What was your first VTubing stream?
It was an iRacing stream. My very first race on iRacing. It was MX5s at Okayama.
Okayama.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I was discovering everything, but I still had my very old, like, you know, the first like chibi that I've drawn myself, because I discovered that you can be a VTuber even though you have a PNG and not a live 2D. So then I drew myself a small chibi and I started like streaming on iRacing. That's how I started out. Good times.
Is that the one that you
Nice.
used to put on all the reels?
No, that was the second thing that I've drawn for myself. No. Like it's a small chibi
Yeah,
that's like
white hoodie.
sitting and holding a wheel.
Yeah, hold
Don't know
on.
if you remember now.
Hold on. I think I might have that. I think I've saw it before. Hold on.
Like it's this one basically. Like if you look in the in the chat, that obviously the listeners can't see.
yes.
But yeah, this one.
Send help.
He's got
This one.
It's not
Yeah.
the AlphaTauri racing cars as well.
Exactly.
Can you tell
'cause
what team
at the
that
time I
Becky
liked.
supports in F1?
At the time I liked them, but yeah, no, good stuff.
What
Yeah, it
team do
was
you
good
support
stuff.
now in F1?
Do I even watch F1 at this point?
Does anyone here?
Not me much. I keep up with the news, but not really watch it.
I missed the
Yeah,
quality,
same.
but yeah, I usually do just have it open like on a second screen, mostly just to, yeah, because the races aren't as interesting most of the time as they used to be. So yeah, but
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
like-
keep tabs on it.
For me, it's not even the racing that's the problem. It's just the cars that I find god awful. Like, I kind of miss the 2010
V8s.
regs.
Yeah,
Yeah, V8s and everything. That was just not that appealing to me.
I quite like the V10s.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
good era too.
F1, bring them back, please. I beg.
Is that what the race calls their podcast? Bring back the V10s.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I swear it is because I've heard that name before for something in F1.
Yeah, that's
It's-
interesting.
Fun fact: the race that I actually personally attended, the F1 race in Spain, was actually back when they were still using the V10s. So yes,
Ooh.
you had like any form of ear protection on, and in the evening when you got back, you still had a ring in your ears. Those fucks were so loud, but so nice.
That was more than like what 15 years ago, no?
Yeah, that was about
No,
that's,
2013 was the last year they used V8s.
Yeah, but he was talking about V10, no?
Yeah, V10s. It's actually the
So
it's like
squeaky
20
boys.
2008.
2006.
Yeah, 6, 8.
Six.
Eight. It must be 2008, I think. So
There
yes,
is no
it is a
V10s.
couple. I
Then
think it
was
was.
V8. 2006 was the last year with V10s because at the
Really?
time Toro Rosso used a V10 mainly as they couldn't get a V8 in time, so they had to use a limited RPM limited V10.
Really?
So
2006.
there is a fun
yeah,
fact
actually,
was
that
the
could be
last
correct.
the last year that a V10 ran in F1 was 2006.
And it's already that long ago. Holy fuck.
Almost 20 years. Wow.
Holy shit.
Victor just thinking himself, where's the time went?
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, my
I'm
last
getting old.
time watching a NASCAR race in person was during the Gen 4 cars.
Ooh.
Gen 4.
Yeah,
That's
the
like what?
Twisted
That's
Sisters.
That's early to mid 2000s. So the last time they ran.
It was like
2007, 2008 was the last time they ran full time.
Gen
Well, like
4 as a whole
part-time.
was like the late 80s, early 90s into the mid 2000s. Yeah, because it was like 2000. I think it was 2008 was where they introduced the Car of Tomorrow with the wing, and then 2011 was the spoiler COT.
You ever saw the video of the one, like the animation of the COT flying?
Oh my gosh, I remember watching the COT just flying every other weekend.
No, I mean, it's like there's an animation of the COT as a meme, but I forget what it's called. It's like with the dumb wing before they added the spoiler, like the old school spoiler.
I know we were. I think me and D were talking about like on Twitter. Why is the next gen car keep on blowing over when it turns sideways? Because I know the COT with the wing, when it went backwards, the wing created lift instead of downforce, which made it do the blowover. But why is the next gen car doing it?
Perhaps because the sides are a bit flat, don't you think?
It could be. I know D was thinking maybe because the bottom of the car is flat except for the rear diffuser.
Yeah.
Could be that it kind of gets slimmer on the sides the further down it goes, so it kind of generates like the airflow that it lifts it up. That maybe, I don't know. It is weird though.
We've reached a new chapter in this podcast. We're now talking about aerodynamics.
Yeah.
We're going everywhere. We're going everywhere this episode. Aerodynamics, Formula One.
I car this was originally it's supposed to be about Le Mans, it just happened, but now we're talking about something that's really different. You weren't wrong about the tangents.
No, but I think I don't want to hold y'all up any longer. So, Do y'all have anything y'all wanna say before we end here, or anything y'all want to add? Any future plans or anything on your ends individually?
Well, you guys can go first if you want, and I'll end things up.
Age before beauty.
What?
I like you too, thanks.
Love you too, Victor, mate.
The only thing I can say is I promise I will stream again at some point.
X to dart.
Hey now.
No, we believe. We believe.
We believe in the process. We say
Yes.
Exactly.
Maybe if it's cooler again and I don't have to have the AC running in the background, I might actually just be able to,
Yippee.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
I don't know. You put me on the spot. I was
Yeah.
hoping you would go next.
No. You're going first.
Why? Because
Come on.
every time I've been asked a question, I always redirect it to you.
It's like ping pong,
Ping pong.
I'm giving you back the spotlight.
Are we racing or are we doing ping pong? What are we doing?
Oh no.
I don't know. I feel I've been put on the spot. I don't know what I'm doing, But I don't know. Maybe a return of V-Track. I don't know. I keep saying, I'm pulling not Rosberg because I won a championship. I've done this for 2 years. I think it's time to move on. But then I find out whether I want to recreate and I wanted to drive it in the race and I have no other option, so I have to kind of drive it in V-Track. I don't know. Okay, as much as people ask, I have no clue. Whatever is the future brings for me is what I will be doing. I know that's a boring answer, but I have no clue.
Nah, it's fine. It's been good. I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, in terms of future plans with Mirai, you're gonna know it probably a few days before it actually happens because we like to be unpredictable. So yeah, we're not really planning anything at the moment. But yeah, as we said before, Bathurst, Petit Le Mans, maybe some other races. I'm not sure if we're doing V-Track next season. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
we're gonna see.
I know one of our drivers are doing it, but not under Mirai.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see if there's gonna be a Mirai entry. But yeah. But I guess as a few final words, I just want to thank. Well, first of all, you, Kaito Nasa, for inviting us. That's very nice of you.
Yes.
We're really honored to be here on this podcast, and we want to thank you, the listeners, for staying with us. And overall, we just want to thank everyone for the support that they've given us over here at Mirai. It means the world for us to, be part of this team and to have this much support. And I'm really happy to see things going as good as they're going right now with Mirai. So yeah, I just want to say thank you.
What the heck? It should be me thanking y'all. It's been an honor to have Mirai on the podcast, and thank y'all for joining me on just the second episode because this thing is very small. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to get to actually interview Mirai for the podcast. So seriously, thank y'all so much for coming on.
You
Especially
never
on,
know. You might have us again. Maybe individually. You never know.
Oh, maybe it's
we can be a handful when we're all together.
I got a mess to clean up in the studio now. Hold on. There's thrown bottles everywhere on the floor.
We have to clean the couch, huh?
God.
What?
There might be soda stains in there. Get your head out the gutter, man.
Yes.
Yeah, soda. Now let me just make a note here. Jordan not allowed on podcast anymore.
Whoa.
Hey, I think I can make it pretty interesting. You never know, huh? Depends the questions you ask me, you might get interesting answers,
True. All right. Thank y'all so much again for being on here. Thank you for listening. And next week, be prepared for more VTuber racing news and events to be covered. We're signing off. Have a great rest of your night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.